Hello there, guys. Unannounced, going live. I don't know if anyone's going to see this, but I just wanted to do it before Thanksgiving. Say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Um, and it's been a long time since I've done one of these. I'm in my basement, my unfinished studio once again, but I got the Pac-Man machine behind me, the computer over there, TV up there, got all of that good stuff going on. I don't have anything special to talk about, just wanted to talk about things Volkswagen, and maybe if someone had questions or anything like that, I'd answer them. I don't usually do this. I'm not even in my Volkswagen attire. I'm actually on vacation this week, but the 2024s have been out. Everything is now a 2024 except for the ID4. We don't know exactly when the ID4 will start being included in that 2024 lineup, but we can also see a 2025 in our lineup, and that is the ID Buzz. So the ID Buzz is getting closer. We expect to have that by summer. That will be at 2025. Hey, how we doing, track days? What's happening? Track days. All right. So ID Buzz coming up this summer. ID7 coming up this summer. 2024 Tiguan. A lot of people are disappointed about the 2024 Tiguan because it's not the one that everybody's seeing on the internet that's over in Europe. That will be a 2025. That is coming. 2024s are still the same old 2022s, 2023s, except without any deletes. There's no deletes on there. So 2024 Golf Rs, we've already sold one. We got another one coming to us, already spoken for. We hope to get a few more of those this year. Typically, in a typical year, we'll get about 9 Golf Rs. Last year, we got 5. This year, we've already gotten one. We got another one on a boat on the way to us. It is a DSG unit. The 6-speed manual. This is the last year for the Golf R manual. So if you're not on somebody's list, if you don't have access to someone that can get you one, man, make a move now. I have a wait list 3 deep on those. I have 2 guys from California. If you're out there watching, hello, how are you? They've been on my list for about 2 years, waiting for a manual stick shift or a stick shift Golf R, and also a DSG husband and wife pair. So that's pretty cool. Also, I'm going to be making a video around the first to second week of December, where you guys meet the owner Scott of his 500,000 mile 2017 Passat. He has a 2017 Passat 1.8T turbo that has 500. As I'm talking here, he has 506,000 miles on his Passat. He needs a new driver's seat, but he's got 506,000 miles on that car. Also, and the 2024 Atlas. The 2024 Atlas is absolutely incredible. All the updates and all the new stuff that they did to it, we're selling them like crazy. That's all we're selling is 2024s on the Atlas and Atlas Crossport. And Atlas Crossport is eking up in sales, where it's starting to get close to numbers that we sell the Atlas at. So Atlas Crossport is also getting really, really popular. The 2024 Jetta GLI, the 40th anniversary edition. I have one coming. It's not spoken for yet. That is coming as a manual in white. And then I also have that Golf R DSG. I have a 380 GTI S coming in black. It'll have the black wheels, black roof. That'll be pretty sharp as well. And we have a large number of Atlas SEL Premium R-Lines on the ground now. We have about a dozen of them. So that is weird. That's the first time in 3 years that we've actually had SEL Premiums on the ground, ready to go. As for Crossport, I have one on the ground. We've had that for about 4 days. Our inventory levels are way, way, way up now. We're over 100 cars now. That's the first time in about 3 years that we've been over 100 cars. We now have stuff stored in the back. That's why you don't see me do inventory updates anymore, just because there's so much inventory. I can't do it all in the video. It would take too long, and it's, well, I don't mind the walking, but it's a lot. So I want to look here and see what questions you guys have. Let's see here if I can go back to it. I can't here. So if I missed your questions, type them again. I'm sorry. This is kind of a live feed. I'm doing this off of my phone, so hopefully you can hear me, and everything's working good there. If you guys have questions there, I saw a question about incentives, and I don't know what happened there. It just kind of went away. But ask away on your questions again if you got something. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Tomorrow, everybody's going to be busy. My turkey's brining right now in the fridge. I'm going to actually cook it on the Traeger. We got a new patio set up. So I have my Traeger out there, my Blackstone out there. And the patio is pretty fantastic. It's pretty a cool thing. Any incentives on ID buzzes? No way of knowing. Not until the car shows up. They won't have any kind of federal tax credit or anything on them because they're not built in the U.S. What are the interest rates right now for Atlas? The promo rate for Atlas right now is 4.9 for up to 72 months on a 2024 Atlas. That is subject to change though, because we're coming up on the end of the month. Today's the 22nd. So by the 30th, that program will probably end. Let's see. If you're looking for a car, I know we're going to do Black Friday deals. My website is if you type in vwstl.com, that's my dealership's website. Now the key here is, if you like me, you want to deal with me, make sure you ask for me, because if you start piddling around on that website, you click on something to get further savings or anything like that, which, by the way, is all it is an information grab. The savings you see on that website are the savings you can actually get. There are some rules and guidelines for savings, of course. You can't double dip and get this and that and this and that. You know, you pick one or the other, or whichever. But vwstl.com is my website. It's Bommarito St. Peter's. There's 2 Bommaritos in St. Louis. Make sure you get the right one. I'm Bommarito St. Peter's. So that VWSTL website will get you there. There's Black Friday deals on there. Make sure you take a look at that. There's some pretty cool stuff on there. Also, we are going to be, we're actually, our sales numbers are actually up this year. Over last year, we had our best October ever. And then November is still doing great. We're not on pace to have our best November yet, but usually Black Friday on is when we're the busiest. So we'll see how that shakes out. Last year, I was the #1 salesman in all of Missouri. So the entire state. I'm #3 this year. So help me out. Come buy a car from me. If you're flying in, I'll pick you up from the airport and you can drive home. If you're in Georgia, you're not too far. If you're in Arkansas, you're in Alabama, you're not too far. If you're in Texas, you're not too far from me. If you're in Oklahoma or Kansas, you're definitely not too far from me. If you're in Iowa, you're not too far. And if you're in Illinois, you're just a day trip. Let's go. So even Kentucky and Illinois, we get a lot from. So come see me. What other questions you guys got? I'll answer any questions you have. And while we're talking about stuff here, Golf R. I am 23,000 miles in on my Golf R. 23,000 miles in has been the best daily driver ever. Remember, I owned a 2016 Golf GTI SE. That was a great car. That was my favorite car. Hello, Reese. Do you happen to know how much does VK charge for 24? That went away. I'm not sure you're saying VK. If you can elaborate on that a little bit. And these disappear kind of quick here, so I'm doing this on a computer screen here. Let me see if I can actually pull it up on my computer screen here. And then I'll be able to kind of interact there. Let's see. I have to watch an ad first. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. Do you happen to know how much does VK charge for 24 cross sport side steps? So side steps on the Atlas, I'm speaking from 2021 numbers. They were about I want to say $885 for the set. Installing is going to be more labor if you have that installed, and I know they're a pain in the ass to install if you're doing it yourself. I will tell you that. So figure somewhere around $800-900 for side steps. However, my dealership is actually doing that accessory sale where they're selling stuff at cost. So if you're interested in that, shoot me an email or something like that. And I will, you're welcome. I will check and see what our price is on that, and we will ship anywhere in the US. So we'll ship them to you. It's on you to get them installed then, but we'll ship them to you anywhere in the US. Dynamic center caps, if you want those for your car, man, we're selling them. We're selling them at cost. I think it's like 90 bucks instead of like 180 bucks for dynamic center caps. So if you want those, again, we'll ship them out to you. If you need crossbars, we can sell those. We sell those. We can get those out to you as well at cost. Bumperdillos. Bumperdillos are like 90 bucks. We have those for GTI, Golf R, Taos, Jetta, Tiguan, and Atlas. And there's a black one, a silver one, and a chrome one. So the chrome one is an option. I didn't even know there were 3 types of bumperdillos, but there are. We're selling a lot of those. Also, Muddy Buddies. If you guys are a fan of WeatherTech mats, WeatherTech actually makes the Muddy Buddy mats for Volkswagen. Volkswagen owns the brand, the name right to Muddy Buddy. So that's why they're called Muddy Buddies, not WeatherTech mats. So they're the same laser measured ones. If you had an issue with them, a warranty issue or something like that, WeatherTech's still going to have you send them back to them. So if you're interested in Muddy Buddy trunk liner, Muddy Buddy front rear floor mats, hook me up or give me a call or shoot me an email. That's better. Don't call me, shoot me an email. That way I've got a little paper trail on it. I've got a little electronic trail on it, and I'll keep up with you. Again, we'll ship those anywhere in the country. So I'm curious. I got 8 people watching here. I know that's not a lot. I'm small peanuts, but man, just type down here, what kind of car do you guys drive? I'm just curious and where you're at. So, I mean, it's unannounced at 9 o'clock on Thanksgiving Eve. I mean, I'm bored. I'm sure you guys are bored. Maybe there's family members around you don't really want to be around right now. There's a lot of cooking going on. Maybe you got chased out of the kitchen because you kept snacking on the casserole or something like that. I'm just curious, what kind of cars do you guys drive and where you're at? Back to my Golf R, 23 miles in, 23,000 miles in, and I am loving this car. The touchscreen, yes, I got used to it. It's not a big deal for me. Is it my favorite? Nah. But let's see. 2024 Cross Sport R-Line. I'm a fan from Texas. All right. 22 Tiguan SE in Dallas, Texas. See, there's Texas. That's what I'm talking about right there. I've sold so many cars to people in Texas. I've sold a car to someone in Amarillo, Laredo, Columbus, Indiana. Awesome. GLI. Awesome. Let's see. I've sold to people in Florida. Tell Rhonda to get me a Tiguan. Yeah. She's not going to listen to me. Come on, Alex. Oh man. So lots of VW in the house. I like to see that. Now I've actually sold cars to people in California too. They actually flew home, and we shipped the car to them. Lady in Los Angeles bought a Passat, and a guy from Victorville, California bought an Atlas Crossport SEL Premium R-Line. They actually had an accident in that car, totaled the car, but it saved everybody's lives. So he sent me pictures of that. And, yeah, I was glad to see that the car did its job. It held up. And then there's a lady named Vilma in Florida. Absolutely love Vilma. She's awesome. She's from Weston, Florida, I want to say. So pretty awesome. And then there's my 2 guys from New York City. One came from New York City. One came from Brooklyn. And then I had a lady come from Ledyard, Connecticut, or Ledyard, I'm pronouncing that right. That's the furthest I've had anybody come from. And I've even got phone calls from Canada. I can't help you in Canada. Man, super cool. What other questions do you guys have? I'm just rambling on here. I just wanted to see what would stick. The 2024s, we got a lot of things going on, a lot of changes that are going on. While I'm thinking of it, the Tiguan S for 2024, later in the production year, will come with wireless charging and an upgraded radio. Tiguan S's that are coming out right now as 2024s won't have that, but the later ones will. So that's going to be exciting too. I think they're trying to run out of stuff in the parts bin because when they know a change is coming, they do something special or something to eliminate extra parts. That's why I think it was 2015 they had the Passat Limited. And then also the I'm sorry, not the Golf GT, the Passat GT in 2019 or 2018 was to get rid of parts. And in 2019, the SEL-R-Line Passat. So they do that a lot of times to get rid of things. And I do not have any information on the 2025 Passats I'm sorry, 2025 Tiguan's as of yet. I am hearing a little bit of rumbling that there may be a production plant change for the 2025s. I can't confirm or deny that, but it's a rumor that I'm hearing. Once I know something, yeah, I'll be able to tell you that. But it sounds like there could be a change in the works for where that car is, the US spec version is built. As for the manual gearbox, this is the last year for Golf R and GTI manuals. I don't know for sure. We never got confirmation that that's including GOI as well, but I would assume it does. And then also that means Jetta Sport and Jetta S probably get away from a manual gearbox as well. No one's coming out and saying that, but again, just by natural progression or attrition or whatever you want to call that, I think that's going to happen. Again, I can't confirm that. We should start to see in the pipeline soon 2024 Arteons. So 2024 has everything in the pipeline except for Arteon and ID4. So 2023 ID4s are still being built because we just got an ID4 Pro S Plus loaded on a truck and is on the way to the dealership now. That's coming. I'll make a video of that probably in the next week. That is a canceled order as we're close enough to the 2024s. He's switching to a 2024. He wants to wait for the 24s. And of course you can't order the 24s, so he's just hoping to snag one. Also upcoming videos, ID4 Standard. I have 2 of them coming to me. So the ID4 Standard, we've never had one before. I'm going to be making a video of one of those coming up too. So for those of you that are looking for an EV, I will have those soon. And I also I haven't really done anything with them. I have 2 other channels now for EVs. Reese sells EVs, and I don't remember what the other one is yet, because I just created them and I'm using videos that I made, the EV videos that I have. I'm using those on that channel. So don't go over there looking for some wow content. I don't do wow, but they're just videos that I made for this channel, and I'm sharing them on that one too, because there are going to be enough people that are looking for EVs. Let's see. On this Golf R, I'm going to tell you what, you guys, I'm going to show you something here, and I'm going to make a video about this. This is my key fob for my Golf R right here. You are going to hate this key fob if you're a guy, and I'm going to tell you why. If you don't put a cover on this key fob, you're going to absolutely despise this key fob in your pocket. You're going to want to sit it anywhere but in your pocket. The alarm button on here is not indented like these buttons are here. If you can see that right there, it's over here on the side. The panic alarm button, I've set it off. I've lost count how many times in the drive-thru. So if you have an Atlas, you have a Golf, GTI, Golf R, or any future, or the ID4, you're going to accidentally trigger your alarm at the most inopportune time. I was in an Arby's drive-thru and I couldn't get it out of my pocket fast enough to shut it off at the window. You make a sudden move, you have anything else in your pocket. I have one of those front pocket wallets that has the RFID protection on it where it can't be scanned and things like that. So my pocket's pretty full of stuff, and if I have a cell phone in another pocket, now I've got stuff that's crowding this out, and it wants to move, and it pushes the button. So I got this case. It's carbon fiber like. It's a pattern here. It snaps on. I got it on Amazon. It was like 23 bucks. Best thing ever. Now, if you have a key fob that has remote start, this one's not going to work. I did order another one. I'll put a link up for that one too. But I think it covers this up too. I don't have remote start since I have a Golf. You won't have that on an ID4, so you can get that. If you have an Atlas SE or an Atlas Crossport SE, you can use this one too. You're going to have to find something different if you have a remote start, because it covers up your remote start as well. But it's worked. It's worked flawlessly. It's impact resistant. The only thing I don't like is my R doesn't show through here. Instead of a Volkswagen logo, which is round circles 4, it shows the R, but it's covered up most of the way. So there's my little speech about the Golf R. That's the one thing I don't like is the key fob. Also, with this key fob, the Atlas now works a lot like the Golf R. You have approach unlocking on, I know it's on the SEL Premium R line. It may be on the SEL too. I'll make a video about that too. I'm going to make a lot more how-to videos because I think I have enough content up there on the 2024s till we get something really special. I'm going to probably kind of pause on the 2024 videos because I think I've got everything up there. I don't have a Jetta S up there, so I'll put one of those up if I have one in stock. Like I said, we do have another Golf R coming. We have another GTI coming, so more of these key fobs. Do you guys have any other questions? Any questions at all? I mean, I'm just here to chat. I'm bored, probably like you guys are, and I can answer some questions. So let's see here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, guys. Yeah, so the thing about whoever asked about the 2025 Tiguan, there are some other things that I'm hearing about it, but they're all rumors at this point. I have a person that calls once in a while and gives me some updates because he knows someone close to Volkswagen. So they know some things. The thing I'm hearing about the 2025 Tiguan is it's going to make the 2024 Atlas and Crossport look stupid, pretty much. So the technology that's going to show up in the new 2025 Tiguan is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. The body style, the design, the intuitive, the touchscreen, all of that stuff. All of that stuff gets redone on the Tiguan, and I'm going to bet this key fob starts coming with the Tiguan as well. I think Volkswagen's going to this key fob universally. So everything 2025 and newer. We know the Buzz is going to have it. We know the ID7 is going to have it because they're EVs, and the ID4 already has this. Now, there are, let's see, on the Tiguan, there are a lot of changes. So if you guys want to watch that video of the 2024, the new 2024 redesign, keep in mind that's only in Europe right now. That's not the US. That's coming next year. Volkswagen likes to do, let's see here. The new Atlas should have the same screen. I have an Atlas Crossport. Hold on. Let me read that. Let's see. I have an Atlas Crossport, and every week the remote stops working, and to get it back working, I have to unsync the car in my VW app and re-register it. Is this a glitch? That is absolutely a glitch. But I will tell you this. Volkswagen, they're a technology company that happens to build cars, but they're not known to have the best software. Everybody knows that. We don't have the best software when it comes to stuff. My wife's Crossport, I've never been able to remote start it. It's a 2023. Never once been able to remote start it using my phone. However, the remote start on the fob, she's got the old school Atlas fob where you got one fancy silver one and the other one, but the remote start works flawlessly that way. On the app, not the best. I also have a Jetta R-Line that I use the VW app for. Once in a while, we'll get that to start. Not every time. Is just, I don't know what it is. If it's satellites, I'm not sure. But that remote start on the app, it's a cool thing to have, and it'll go on runs where it'll work flawlessly for you. And then it'll just, there's times it just, nope, it's not going to do it. Now keep in mind too, with the remote start though, there are 2 times where it's designed to not start, even if you're doing everything right. That being when you have a fuel light on or a check engine light, or if the car is not completely locked or secured. If there's a door ajar or a hatch that's slightly open, you won't get the remote start to work. Also, the range on these remote starts, Volkswagen's range, not the best. I'll be honest and tell you that. I can't lie to you and tell you, oh yeah, it works great. The times when the remote start works, is the best is when you have that extended range remote start. It'll start a car up to a half mile away. I've never had that fail, and that's a factory install remote start. And I don't think we're going to see a lot of those on anything 24 or newer. They kind of stopped that with 20. We've only seen that up to 2023 on Atlas SE and Atlas Crossport SE, because those don't natively have a remote start from the key fob itself. So you end up carrying two fobs with those. And then the app does work on those as well. So that other question, is there going to be an infotainment update for the new Atlas when the Tiguan's come out? I'm going to go out on a limb and say doubtful. They just rolled out that infotainment screen this year. 2026 is probably when you're going to see that change, because the Atlas gets a redo in 2026. 2024, this was a refresh. It was a heavy refresh. It was an intense refresh. But the reason for that was Volkswagen recognized that we were starting to lose market share to other manufacturers with their interiors over what we had. So we had to raise the bar significantly to keep the Atlas relevant. So this refresh here is only going to be good for 24 and 25. And 26, you're going to see an all-new Crossport and an all-new Atlas. Don't expect a V6 or anything like that. V6 is done. That ship has sailed. They're not going to do those. You're welcome. Let's see. What other questions do you guys have? I'm looking down. I have a TV screen down here, and I have that screen over there. This screen's playing my video. That reminds me, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. Guys and gals, please subscribe to the channel. And when you see a video you like, please just like it. I never really asked for likes before, but I'm definitely figuring out the algorithm now. If I don't get a lot of likes on a video, it doesn't get traction. It doesn't get suggested. So like the videos, subscribe to the channel. Oh, and I just hit 10 million views literally 3 weeks ago. And man, that's awesome. I never thought that this would happen. I just like selling cars. I like the product. I've been with Volkswagen 10 years. I just got my little service plaque for that. I'll end up posting one here, hanging one up here, and hanging one up at work. So 10 years with Volkswagen at the end of October. So that's been a big milestone as well. And then I just hit 12,000 subscribers. So that's pretty cool too. I'm not the car mom. Maybe I'm the car dad. I don't know. But these walk around videos is just kind of I didn't really think it would put me on any kind of map, and it kind of has. I mean, because there's 12,000 of you out there that care enough to watch every one of my videos, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for that. Let's see. What does that one say? I was going to get a Taos initially, but you made me look at the Crossport, and I don't regret it. I wish my dealer here in Georgia did videos and have the warranty you guys do. Yep, that warranty is worth the trip. So you're in Georgia, next time come see me. Seriously, fly in, drive out, I'll pick you up. 10-year, 200,000-mile engine and powertrain warranty on every new gas-powered Volkswagen. So we're not offering that on a ID4 or an ID Buzz or an ID7. So, but the engine and powertrain warranties on every new Volkswagen, and we're worth the trip. And we give you 6 years of included maintenance. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60,000-mile oil changes are all covered. So you don't pay for an oil change till 70,000 miles. But remember, those last 3, you have to come to my dealership to get those. So if you're out of town in Georgia, Texas, or something like that, just make a trip up. Get some toasted ravioli at Emo's Pizza. Come see the Arch. Man, I'm serious. There's a lot of stuff to do here. And we have this thing called gooey butter cake. There's a lot of things that St. Louis tries to claim that they own or that they invented, they take credit for. The pork steak, but I'm from Kansas City. They have pork steaks there. At least they do now. So I'm not so sure that that's a St. Louis thing. Toasted ravioli, those are killer. St. Louis claims that. Emo's Pizza, it's thin cracker crust with Provel cheese. Provel, not provolone. 2 different things. Try it if ever you're here. And then gooey butter cake. Man, Good stuff. If you've never tried that, try that. I also had a stint in Kentucky. They claimed a hot brown. Hot brown is like a hollandaise sauce on toast, open faced kind of sandwich. It's kind of different. And they have something called burgoo, which is like lamb, like a lamb stew. That's another thing. So all these little regional things, I've tried them. Some of the things, that barbecue. I'm from Kansas City. Man, I love Kansas City barbecue. Last time we went to Kansas City, Jack Stack. If you haven't gone to Jack Stack, you have to try it. You can also order it online, Jack Stack Barbecue. Definitely get the beef burn-ins or the pork burn-ins, and the ribs ain't bad either. Everything's super tender. I also got to plug Joe's Kansas City Barbecue. If you haven't tried them, sometimes they've been referred to as Oklahoma Joe's. They have a sandwich called the Z-Man. It's brisket, onion straws, and barbecue sauce on an onion roll. Oh, and provolone cheese. Oh my God, hot stuff. So there's that. So there's all kinds of reasons to come travel and just buy a car while you're there. Pretty cool. Does anybody have any other questions about my Golf R, GTI, anything? ID Buzz. We do know there's 4 trims while I'm talking about that. 2025 will have 4 trims of ID Buzz. They will have a first edition rear wheel drive, a first edition all wheel drive, a Pro that's all wheel drive, and then a Pro S Plus that's rear wheel drive. So the ID Buzz is coming. It won't qualify for a federal tax credit. We're expecting to have them by summer. We're not able to order them. It'll be based on our ID4 sales. So that's how they're going to allocate them to people. So if your local dealership is not selling ID4s, you're not going to get ID Buzzes. And then ID7, we're not sure how that one's going to play out, but that's a slick looking sedan as well. That's going to have an extra charging range or extra range on that battery. And I'm hearing the 2024 ID4 is going to have a lot of upgrades as well. Is this the last model of the Jetta and VW cutting the model, or would it get a redesign down the road? We don't know. We're hearing both. We hear rumors that the Jetta is going away after this year, but I kind of doubt it. That, from a dealer's perspective, I think that would be a silly move to eliminate a sedan, especially a sedan that competes with a Civic, competes with an Altima, it competes with a Corolla, which Toyota is still keeping. Corolla has the Corolla Cross now, which competes with the Taos, and Honda has the Civic. And Honda and Toyota both have been having major production problems where they didn't have inventory. I think that's quickly coming to an end. But I'm going to tell you what, at least where I'm at in St. Louis, man, there's a lot of dealers that really pissed people off with markups and add-ons and addendums. The Jettas will be a bad move. Yep, I agree. Absolutely agree. The car gets 40 miles at a gallon. The car is small, and not everybody wants an SUV. And here's the thing about SUVs. SUVs are more expensive. Yes, they're a profit center for the manufacturers. However, SUVs trickle down. All car sales trickle down. So new cars, leased cars trickle down to used cars. Used cars trickle down to people who are maybe less equipped or less financially able to purchase new SUVs, new cars, new sedans, or anything like that. So the way the auto industry has gone, yes, the Jetta has an automatic transmission and not a CVT. Volkswagen thankfully does not do CVTs. I had a CVT in a Ford 500, and I swore I'd never buy another one. That's why I'll never buy a Nissan. CVTs, nope, can't do it. That transmission is like a wife who can't make up her mind. Fourth gear, fifth gear, fourth gear, third gear, second gear. Oh, wait, fourth gear, fifth gear, overdrive. Wait, go back. No, you can't. I can't drive a car like that. I can't handle it. It makes me batty. So what I was talking about the car market, we have progressed to where everyone has gotten away from sedans. Everyone, including Volkswagen, has gone from, when I started with Volkswagen, the models we had a Beetle, we had an EOS, we had a CC, we had Jetta, Passat, and GTI, Golf R, and I'm missing one, I believe. Oh, TEgg. Okay. A lot of those cars are gone. The TEgg, I understand why they got rid of it in the US. They still build a TEgg, and it's a badass looking vehicle. And if Volkswagen ever comes to their senses, they'll come back, they'll bring it back to the US and build it like for the US, like the Golf R, where there's a limited quantity of them. But TEgg buyers buy TEggs. They trade in TEggs and buy new TEggs. So if they brought that car back to the US, yes, it's going to be pricey. Yes, no, not everybody can afford that car. And yes, not everybody's going to buy that car. But if you make it in limited numbers, you make it meet the EPA standards, and you bring that hybrid, that e-hybrid here, oh man, TEgg all day. And it's not going to cannibalize Crossport, and it's not going to cannibalize Atlas. They're different cars. So the CC, you know, the new digital climate control. Let's see here. You know, the new digital climate control, does that need to be coded? Not sure. And yes, we do need a Shaco here. So someone said a Shaco. Yeah. And let's see here. So Hale, I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Are you asking if that needs to be coded? Because let's see here. Let's not forget Jenna still has an yeah. Okay. So what I was talking about again, we got away from sedans. So we got rid of the Passat, which I think was kind of a mistake. Yeah, the numbers were down, but you just produce less of the car. It still has a demand. It still has a market. You could have used it in fleet sales. It still could be used there. Passat was a tall person's dream. 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", up to 6'6". Man, imagine being a 6'6" driver having a seat all the way back and not impacting the person behind you. They could also be 6'2" behind you and the seat didn't touch them. Around how much would a TEgg be? TEgg's going to start with a 6. So we're talking 59 plus. Yeah, 59 plus on a TEgg. If I remember correctly, when I started in 2013, there was a Sport, a Lux, an Executive, a Sport, a Lux, and an Executive. The Sport didn't have a sunroof, the Lux did, and the Executive did. And a TDI Executive, oh, that was a badass vehicle, especially the 2016s. That had a 3.0 V6 turbo diesel. And it had adaptive cruise. That was the first car that I experienced adaptive cruise control in. The TEgg should come back, and the TEgg R. If I ran Volkswagen, here's what I would do. TEgg R, TEgg, back in the US, limited quantities. Tiguan R, limited quantities. Golf R, limited quantities. The GTI and the the GTI, and if you don't like Shaco, maybe the Club Sport, either the Club Sport or the Shaco, limited numbers. You can do that. Just have a plant, just do limited exports to the US. Just one ship with 4,000 cars on it. There you go. That's it. Send it over. Let's see. What else would I bring to the US? I would have brought the Buzz to the US a long time ago. I would have brought it to the US at the same time that they did it over in Europe. They've been teasing that car for damn near a decade. It's crazy. Just get it here already. The other thing is the Amarok pickup truck. They did that alliance with Ford, which is now over, where we thought we were going to get an Amarok truck built on a Ranger frame. That didn't happen. So the other concept car that we had is a Ten Oak. If you don't know what that is, Google it. A Ten Oak was an Atlas-based pickup truck. Great looking concept car. They didn't do anything with it. That would be a huge thing in the US. But there's the chicken tax, which is why we can't bring an Amarok over from Europe. The chicken tax, if you're not familiar with that, is a tariff on incoming pickup trucks that makes them not cost effective to sell in the US. So that's why Volkswagen doesn't do a truck in the US. The tan oak was a concept based off the Atlas, so that would be built in Chattanooga, and that would be a sexy, sexy truck. But the truck market is getting really crowded, especially now that Ford, GM, and Stellantis have just overbuilt trucks, and the truck market is about to absolutely implode. So if you're looking for a truck, ooh, wait 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then man, gloves are off. I'm serious. Pickup trucks are going to be, it's going to be a different market. Yes, Volkswagen is still doing the Scout brand. Sorry, you said Stout there, and I followed suit. Scout. They're building a plant in South Carolina. They did have to put the construction on a brief pause due to some wildlife concerns or something to do with the environment they were building in. But they're still slated to start production in 2026, I believe. The EV world is starting to change a little bit too, where EV adoption is slowing down. So I think they're going to have some pretty big headwinds with that. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, but I'm not privy to that information. It'd be great if I could get my hands on a Scout when they get a prototype or something like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Volkswagen really knows I exist out there, because I got the idea the other day that maybe I should reach out to Volkswagen about getting a look at the ID Buzz beforehand, but I'm just a car salesman at a dealership, so they'll say, oh, that's unfair. That's an unfair advantage at your dealership. Nope, you're not going to get that. So I'm used to that answer. If any of you guys got any pull, man, get somebody to get me a car before it shows up at the dealers, and I'll make a video of it. Pretty cool. I got off topic again about the SUV market. Used SUVs still aren't affordable even at the used levels that they're coming in. And what I mean by that is 40, 50, 60,000 miles on an SUV, they're still 40 grand. They're still 30 grand. They're still 28 grand. And I say 40 grand depending on what you're looking at. There's cars out there, SUVs. Like I had a salesman, a co-salesman that's at my dealership, had a customer reach out to them. They're looking for they were very specific, a 35,000 mile or less on a Yukon Denali for 35 grand. And I about spit out my drink. Doesn't exist, not going to exist unless you're talking about a salvage title vehicle or maybe 200,000 miles on it or something like that. There's no way you're getting a Yukon Denali for 35 grand with 35,000 miles or less on it. It's just not going to happen. Funny you asked that. I actually was born and raised in Detroit, and I've been to those auto shows, and I think the Detroit Auto Show, I kind of seem to remember seeing a video where it sounded like they're kind of going away from auto shows altogether. I could do one of those, but I don't. Outside of my dealership, I'm nobody to everybody. So no one knows who I am. I don't have the kind of pull that I would think I would need to get a hold of someone else's car. I can't just reach out to Toyota and ask for a car. I'd have to know somebody, and I don't. The only other brand that I really know someone at is Hyundai, and I don't know with her if I could. She's like a regional person for Hyundai, and she's down in Florida now, and I don't know if I can get that pulled off. Now, I do know one of the top 3 salesmen for Nissan in the country. He's always in the top 100. He's always in the top 10, but he's at a dealership, and that's just, I could get a Nissan Frontier or something like that. But as for auto shows, yeah, I don't really have that pull yet. I wish I did, but I don't. I might be able to pull something off at the St. Louis Auto Show when they have it, but over the years, that's been run by the dealer association and not the actual auto manufacturers. So that was kind of a different animal as well. But I'm looking down the road, maybe expanding. Yep, when the channel gets bigger. You guys got to help me out. Spread the word, send people videos, copy links, send them to people. Say, check this guy out and subscribe. I have way more content than a lot of people. I even have more content than Rady's Rides, more videos, more actual videos. but they're all Volkswagen. So I'm very specific. Car Mom, she's killing it on the views. She's killing it on the daily views. But she's doing all the brands, and she's also in the Suntrip family. She's a Suntrip. Suntrip is a major dealer network here as well. So I'm competing against that. She's in the family. She's actually a Suntrip. So I was leading her at one point, and then she got on local news and took off. So she's known at least all over the U.S. She's huge in the U.S. now, and I'm just not there. Excuse me. Got a little choked up there. Allergies. So what's left? There's still stuff growing around here. Yeah, I'd like to do car shows. I just haven't got to that yet. The other thing I kind of wanted to touch on, I want to make videos of all this stuff I talk about. I'll end up making videos of, because I'm going to do less, probably walk arounds, a little bit more what I'm kind of seeing in the business. Kind of get a little more personable, or just kind of one-on-one, I guess. The things that I'm seeing in this market now, we're starting to run into a lot of people who are really going to be upside down in cars. Because the way the cycle works, COVID hit in 2020, 2021, and then 2022 was kind of the remnants of that. It was just a wreck. Everything was absolutely a wreck. It's just a minefield of just crap. Because 2020, we were full on lockdowns. That's when we were doing 0% and deferred payments for 6 months. And we sold everything that wasn't nailed down. We ended up running out of cars. There was a point where my dealership got down to 3 cars. 3 cars. Car number 1 was a silver Tiguan SEL-R-Line front-wheel drive. Car number 2 was a silver Tiguan SEL-R-Line all-wheel drive. Car number 3, Tiguan silver SEL-R-Line all-wheel drive. We had 2 all-wheel drive and 1 front-wheel drive of the same damn car. All the same color, same interior. That was it. Those cars sat on our lot for about 3 weeks. People would come in and say they want to look at an Atlas. I showed them a video. I went and got a used car from next door, a used Atlas, and said, this is what I have. Imagine this. And then I show them a video. So we sold everything in our pipeline. That's where the term pipeline selling came from, where you sell stuff in your pipeline, take a deposit. This is going to be the price of the car. Here's a $500 deposit. We'll call you when this car arrives. I'll text you and let you know when it's loaded on a truck. I'll text you when it's on its way. I'll text you when it's here. You have 48 hours to buy the car, or else it goes to the next person in line. That's how we sold for almost a year. That was crazy. Then when we finally started getting cars, we'd get Atlases in bursts. And then there was part shortages because there was a COVID outbreak at the factory or at a supplier or somewhere else. So cars that were supposed to get built would get parked, waiting on parts. Then the parts would come in, then they'd ship us the cars. That was a crazy world that I don't want to go back to. At the end of that, then we started making cars with deletes. And the reason for that was they got tired of making cars minus parts and parking them. And that was when I personally sold a lot of SEL premium R-Line Atlases. And every time I put an order in for one, Volkswagen was like, oh, stop sending us R-Lines. Stop. Because they used 1,100 chips versus an Atlas SE probably used 500 chips, 300 chips, somewhere in there. Microchips. 1,100 microchips in an SEL premium R-Line. So they didn't want to build those. So that's why no dealerships had them. Dealerships had Atlases with no lift gate, no blind spot, no rear traffic alert. And try selling someone an Atlas with a manual lift gate and telling them they still have to pay $44,000. Oh, but we gave you captain's chairs. It made it really tough. So those cars are now going to start circulating in the used market because people who hated not having those features are trading them in for the features. They're trading them in for the new 2024s, and they're trading them in for other stuff. When you run a Carfax on a car like that, it's not going to tell you, oh, by the way, there's a deleted option on this one. It's not going to know. So the values are going to be all off because someone in Texas is going to have the same car with all the bells and whistles on it, no deletes. and yours is going to have deletes, and yours is going to get valued down here because it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, it doesn't have that. If the person at the trading dealer is astute enough to look for those things, they're going to hit your value that way. And what it's going to do is bring down the value of the ones that still have all that stuff on them. But at the same time, here's the other thing that was going on. People paid a lot extra for cars at dealerships with markups. And if you didn't pay for your markup or your market adjustment in cash, if you financed it, you are screwed. You are literally screwed if you didn't pay down that debt. If you're not paying double payments, if you're not paying extra every month on that car, if you're 3 years into that loan and you're not even close to even, you're going to need to come up with a lot of cash to trade something in. And please make sure you have gap insurance on that car. So if something happens to that car, make sure it's paid off in full. Gap insurance, you have to have it. And there are some places now where they're not giving gap insurance on these cars with these high markups. They're not. And can you blame them? It's not on them to pay that. It's not their fault. If you want to buy that car and it has a $10,000 markup and you want to finance all of that, if you got it financed, because it's going to be 130% of the loan value or higher, if you're not paying extra, you're foolish. You want to make sure you pay extra on that. Get out from under that car now, because we're starting to see a lot of cars where the customer is on the hook 10 grand, 15 grand, 13 grand more than what the car is worth. Also, if you're delivering in a car, I've seen this too. If you're delivering in a car and you're making payments on that car, you should really be driving something else. If you're Uber and bank loans don't get along. In fact, if you put on a bank application that you're an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or some type of driver where you're driving, if you're ferrying people around, the bank is 9 times out of 10 going to decline the loan. They're not going to take it. They're not interested in that, because what's happening is your miles are driving the value down of that car way faster than normal depreciation, and you're not keeping up with the loan unless you're making double and maybe triple payments. So if you're not paying that loan down aggressively, you need to, or if you got a backup vehicle or some type of beater or something you can buy on the side, drive that. And I understand Uber doesn't allow you to drive a beater. I'm talking about food delivery of other stuff. Man, if you have an active loan on a car and you're putting thousands of miles on it a month, you're killing yourself, because that car is going to crap out on you before the loan is due, and you're going to have a high payoff and a low value. Don't do it. Find a car that you can drive that's not going to have that kind of impact. Or if you buy a vehicle to deliver in, make sure you come with a high down payment, or you're in an equity position at the time you buy, because your miles are going to kill that car. And when this market resettles and reshapes and resets, man, dealerships are going to be ugly. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath if you don't bring money down. We're coming into a world where you're going to have hundreds, if not thousands of dollars down to get right. Another way to beat that, though, is if you're in a car that has a high payoff, you have negative equity, get yourself into a lease. But again, if you're delivering, don't do it. Don't do it in that car. But if you have the means to lease a car and you can do 20,000 miles or less a year, because Volkswagen has a lease up to 20,000 miles. They start at 7,500 and go up. That will eat up the inequity. Stay in that car for the lease term. So if it's 36 months, 39 months, stay in it. That car is basically a sponge that sops up all that inequity, that negative equity, that nasty juice. It sucks it up and it sets you straight. But if you continue to rack up miles, especially on a lease, you're going to go over miles and you're going to have a high over mile charge, excess mileage charge, then it was all for nothing. So you didn't really help yourself. If you're looking for SUVs, if you're looking for something new, it is, in this market right now, it is highly unrealistic to expect a car payment to be less than $500 a month. That is, unless you're bringing money to the table or you got monster equity in a car. it is unreasonable to expect a payment less than $500 a month, unless you're doing some type of special rate financing or something like that, and you have equity in a car. You can get a loan for less than that, but it's really, really hard in this market. And we don't know what the Fed will do next, but if they raise rates again, it's going to get even harder. So a lot of customers I run into now wants to make the dealer the bad guy. Well, just discount the car more. No, you can't do that. Dealers are in business to make money. They're not in business to lose money and shut down. That's not how it works. So dealers get help from manufacturers when times get tough, and that may happen soon, where incentives come back with a vengeance. I think we're getting close to that time because our government is really bent on raising rates, bashing inflation, and absolutely shutting down the economy. And that's going to be painful for everybody. So if you're not ready for that, if you're not aware of that, please become aware of that. And I feel like I might be rambling here, but man, I just want to get that out there. Be smart. Be smart about what you finance. Be smart about what you're looking at. Be smart about the money you put down. Be smart about everything you do. I hope this has helped you a little bit. I hope it doesn't seem like I'm rambling. I hope it's valuable information to you. To recap what I was just saying, if you have a high payoff on a car, get it down. Pay it down now. So if you're upside down on a car, and you can do this yourself, look at KBB or Black Book or NADA, put your car in there and be honest. Everybody wants to put their car in and say it's excellent, it's good, it's fair, when it's not. I mean, really look at your car. Are there cracks in the seat? Is it worn? Is it ripped? Do you have a 150,000 mile car and you think it's excellent condition? Not possible. Not possible. That's got 150,000 miles of seats. 150,000 miles of driving, getting in, getting out, your ass getting in and getting out. Your car can't be excellent. Do you have a chip in the windshield? Are your headlight covers yellowing? Are there scratches or dings on the bumper? Those are things that you need to look at. And you need to be honest with yourself. If you lie to yourself and say your car's in excellent condition, your car, if it was on a showroom floor at a dealership, and you were not the buyer of the car, you were trying to sell this to somebody off the street that you do not know, are they going to think it's excellent? Are they looking at the tires and going, there's dry rot? Oh, well, this wheel is scratched. We got to get that fixed. Look at it like you were a new buyer that doesn't know you, a stranger off the street looking to come buy your car. Okay, if they see a scratched wheel, they're going to want that fixed. They see a ding in the hood, they're going to want that fixed. If the line that separates the fender, the quarter panel, from the hood is not even from start to finish, from the hinge all the way down to the headlight, they're going to suspect that the car's been in an accident, and they're going to call you out on it, and they're going to want a deduction for that, or they're not going to buy your car. Plain and simple. So when you go to put your condition in there, make sure you're truthful about it, because most people, the way they go into a dealership, they want top dollar for their trade-in, and they want us to wholesale a car to them. It's not how it works. We still have to make money. We still have to do that. And just because we're making money doesn't mean we're overcharging you. It just means we're a business. We have to make money. That's how it works. To buy more cars, to sell to the next guy. We make money off of service. We make money off of accessories. We make money off of other things, not just the cars. But selling it to you below invoice means we're selling it to you at a loss. We're selling it to you for less than what we paid for the car. The dealership's not really willing to lose money on every single car. They're not. So understand that and keep that in mind. But the big thing is, find out what your payoff is on your car now. I don't care if you're not interested in selling it, but just find out what your payoff is. You should know that. In this market, you're going to really want to know that. Because here's what could happen. You could have an accident. Your car's a total loss. Your insurance company, they give you market value for it, and it might be $2,000 or $3,000 less than what you think is fair. But they're the insurance company, and they're going to get you for that. So now, they're going to give you the market value for your trade, for your car. They're going to take that car away from you, and you're forced to buy a car. Okay. Make sure you have gap insurance. Make sure you don't have money that the insurance company shorted you, that you have to come out of pocket with paying, or you have to continue making payments on a car you don't have anymore. I've dealt with that as well. I had a customer who had $5,000 who was paying on a car loan with no car. It was a total BMW. He still had $5,000 he had to pay off because he didn't have enough gap insurance or no gap insurance at all. So you don't want to be in that boat. Make sure you're ready for a disaster. Just like you have insurance to cover you, make sure you have insurance to help you get the next car if something happens to the car you're currently driving. Gap insurance every time. It's not just a profit center. It is something that you need, especially in these markets now where car prices are way up here and interest rates are way up here. So I hope that you guys are in a good position where you don't have a high interest loan now. Most people who have a 21 or 22 had a 0, had a 1.9 or something like that interest rate. And it would absolutely it would eviscerate you if you had to pay today's payments on a brand new car. Okay. So let's say you got a $400 payment now that on and the loan was 0% or 1.9 or something like that. Guess what? That goes up to about $700 a month. $700 a month. So now it's not the same. It's not the same, and you've lost that equity and all that other stuff. So there's a lot of variables in that, and we're not done dealing with the after effects of COVID. That's going to take us years to get out of. So the market is really weird. It's changing. It's not going to get back to normal because we've got to figure out where the new normal is. We're not there. We're figuring it out. So that goes for every dealer out there. And it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. So does anyone else have any questions about anything else? Because I feel like I've talked enough. My website, vwstl.com. Make sure you ask for me, for Reese. There's 4 other salesmen there that you're going to get if you don't ask for me, if you don't ask to work with me. And again, I'll pick you up at the airport. You can fly in and drive out. I have 118 cars on my lot. Most of those are Atlases and Cross Sports. We have a total of 222 cars in our pipeline, which is the most we've seen in almost 4 years. So we got a lot of good stuff coming. Atlas Peak Edition, I have 3 upcoming. 1 SEL, 2 SE-Techs. Those are coming. One's pure gray, one's black, one is avocado green. I think the SEL's is avocado green. We are still doing the accessories on sale at cost. So if you guys are driving a 2018 something, a 2014 something, maybe you're driving an a Mark IV GLI, a Mark II GTI or something like that, and you need a part, an accessory. Or not necessarily, we're not doing cost on parts. We're doing it on accessories. But if you got floor mats that are tired and worn out, time to replace them. And we'll ship anywhere. We had a guy that ordered from Vegas. We had a guy that ordered from Texas. So, just remember that. At cost, and we'll ship it anywhere in the country for you. So, I'm going to kind of wrap this up here. If there aren't any other questions, I hope the financing piece helped you. Remember, we're doing sign in and drive. That's good till at least the end of the month. 0 first payment, 0 down, 0 due at signing. That's a great deal on 2023. I think we're doing 2023 and 2024 Tiguan on that. I'm not 100% sure because I'm on vacation this week, like I said. So, let's see here. It's our 20. Cross Sports, unfortunately, don't have any kind of bumper-dillos. I do not understand why that is, but because my wife really needs one. She actually did something to her bumper. She needs something. I would wish that they would come out with a bumper-dillo, but as of right now, I don't know of anything there because that lip there's not very much there. The Cross Sport doesn't have a bumper-dillo at all. So not even available yet. They may come out with something later, but I'm thinking that that's going to be something that an aftermarket provider may come out with beforehand. Um, Things that I added to my Golf R. This case. I put a black bumper dillo on my Golf R. I actually put a screen cut protector over my touchscreen. And that's been working out phenomenal. I have a little storage bin that I put down in my little armrest there. There's actually a little storage shelf that slides in where your wireless charger is, where you can set a phone up on the shelf above the wireless charger and still have access to the two USB-C plugs there. Let's see. The safe. If anybody's concealed carry, I don't know where you are state-wise, but I talked to a couple people that are in Texas. And Missouri is a concealed carry state as well. There is a drop-in safe. We're selling that at cost as well. It's about $350 normally. I think we're selling it for like $260 or something like that. It fits in the Atlas Crossport. Doesn't matter if you have a 2018 to a 2023. That will use the first gen of the safe. If you have a 2024 Crossport or Atlas, they use the new gen safe. But we have both. We can get both. So if you're interested in those, we can order those. Let's see here. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. Thank you for watching. I know you guys there's probably pies, bacon, or something in the background. I feel like I'm getting fat just talking to you. I can smell it. Turkey. I have my turkey brining, as I said. I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it on my Traeger. I also have a Blackstone out there, and I got a patio cover for it. So my patio, I'm loving it. I might start making some videos outside. I don't know. I don't know if anybody will watch that. Hell, 14 people are watching this, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, happy Thanksgiving. And if you guys have any questions at all, just type them into the comments there. I'll see them eventually, because I do get some alerts on some comments, not all of them. And then, like I said, I'm going to do more content just basically on kind of FYI stuff. Once I get this room finished, you can see right over there, that stud right there. I haven't put drywall on that part yet. I've done drywall back here. I'm going to change some things around. My TV's up there. There's another TV right there. Pac-Man machine, another computer over there. Yeah, I'm doing all kinds of stuff in here. But once I have this room built, it'll probably take me another year. Good grief. I don't have the time to do this every day. So we'll eventually get there. Lots of exciting stuff coming. Until next time, thanks a lot, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Have a great night.